Okay, today on the bench I had this robot-based slot machine. It's meant for the Japanese market. So you've got your different items there. You've got your buttons here. You have a reset on top. So if you hit this, they're spinning around like crazy. That shows up. It should be just a blur. Then as you hit the buttons, they'll lock into different ones. Ooh. Ooh. It's a partial, but I believe I've got the 3 oranges in a row. Anyway, if you want to see what's going on inside this guy, we'll open it up so you can take a quick peek. The initial problems with this particular toy, of course, were the contacts in the battery box. Single C-cell battery down here, which we should probably take out. We're all corroded. And once I got those clean, the motor's running. I could hear it squealing, so that meant the motor bearings were dry, so I lubed those up. And once I got those lubed up, noticed that one of the drum tumblers wasn't rotating, and its paper had actually come off the drum. So even after I re-glued the paper back onto the drum, it still wasn't rotating. So that's when I noticed that the axle that the 3 motor-driven drums sit on has a support on one side, and that support is broken and missing. So here's where our battery goes down here. And this is the lever which sets everything. When you push on the top of the head, a lever comes all the way down here and pushes on that. Now the motor would be running because these contacts have closed the circuit to the motor. The motor has a rubber band drive down to this pulley. This pulley drives a shaft all the way over from one side to the other. Now if you kind of look down in there, you see that gray? Because everything else is this dark brown blackish plastic. Well, the gray is part of the piece that I had to design in CAD and 3D print, because the axle is held in between 2 grooves in the plastic, so the axle kind of comes down and nests in here. But one of these fingers that it's nesting into is snapped off, so there wasn't anything there to hold the axle in the right place, so it was slipping down over here, which meant the drum was rubbing on the body of the toy. And so I had to 3D print to put a new one down in there. So what happens when it's operating, put a battery in there. You can see the motor is running, everything is spinning, and I'm going to push the buttons from the front, starting this one over here. When you hit that, it locks that drum up, but it also opens that switch. Push the middle one, locks that drum up, open that switch. Push that one, locks the drum up, and opens the last switch. It doesn't matter which one of these switches is touching, see? Any of them can make the motor run. They're all in parallel. But that's because you need the motor to run until they've all reached that lockup mode. And pushing the button on the front moves these little black bars down here, which drop down. Those switches have to be adjusted within like the thickness of a piece of paper. See, it looks like it's almost touching. Not much movement on that, but not my design, so I don't feel bad about it. I think that's about it. You know, the motor spins this pulley here. This pulley spins the axle. These reels are not fastened onto that axle. That's why it's okay to lock one up even though the motor is running. The shaft can keep turning. The only reason that these even spin at all is that basically just a little bit of friction between them and the axle. They're just freewheeling. Let me show that with my finger, for example. So we got them running. So I could come in here with my hand and stop them. Isn't going to make any difference. Because basically the only reason they're even running in the first place is just because of some friction. I noticed that the center one doesn't always line right up on anything. I don't Didn't have anything to do with that. Didn't work on that one. So I'm guessing that's the way the paper artwork was glued onto that drum since day one. So there you have it. A robot roulette game, probably meant to be a game to be played in a bar or people's home bars when people come over and stuff like that. It is marked in the back here. It's got some Japanese, but it also says made in Japan. There's that lever that we talked about. It just has to come down and push down on that metal bar to get things going.